is up, you guys? Gold Pony here today in the 2018 BMW 430i Gran Coupe, courtesy of Apple BMW in York, PA. First impressions right off the bat, I have to say the steering wheel grips are bolstered much thicker, and I am loving that. But before I get too much into it, let me start with pricing. To start, pricing is basically going to differ between what drivetrain you go with, whether that be rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The rear-wheel drive is going to start at $41,950, and the all-wheel drive is going to add $2,000, bringing it up to $43,950. Power plant is going to be the same either way. That's going to come from a 2-liter twin-power turbo inline 4-cylinder engine, putting out 248 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and 258 pound-feet of torque, available at around 1,500 RPM. Again, you can get rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, but power is going to be sent to the wheels through an 8-speed automatic with paddle shifters. And these aren't your regular plastic paddle shifters, of course. These are high-grade magnesium paddle shifters, so they definitely feel amazing, and I will be testing them out in a little bit. But continuing with the specs, 0 to 60 time comes in at approximately 5.6 seconds, with the top speed electronically limited at 155 miles per hour. MPGs are going to come in at 23 city, 33 highway for the all-wheel drive. And for the 0 to 60 time on this one, that is actually really good MPGs. A part of that may be due because this one does come with the auto start stop system, so meaning when you're stopped at a red light or a stop sign, the car is going to automatically turn off, helping you save a little miles per gallon there as well. And so the next thing I do want to mention is just to the left of the shifter, you do have a drive mode button, allowing you to choose between Eco, Pro, Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. And what those driving modes are going to do to start is it's going to change the gauge setup just slightly. For instance, when you put it in the Eco Pro driving mode, you're going to get a charge power icon just below the RPMs. That's pretty cool. But in addition to that, those driving modes are also going to adjust throttle response, the shift points, the steering sensitivity, and the suspension settings. And so for instance, that Sport Plus driving mode, that's going to turn traction control off, and if you have the rear wheel drive set up, therefore allowing you to do a little drifting. And so without further ado, let me test out the paddle shifters a little bit. And so to leave it in that manual shift mode where you just simply use the paddle shifters, you're going to slide the shifter to the back and to the left there, and that essentially is going to give you full control. And the paddle shifters are very lightning quick. I'm not even exaggerating on that one. These paddle shifters react instantly. So if you want to have a little bit of fun, definitely put it in that driving mode. And so now let me push back to the automatic setup here. Let's do a quick little acceleration. And we'll see how quickly the 2018 430i Gran Coupe here can get up to speed. Oh my gosh, it's pretty fun. It's not the fastest car. It's not like the BMW M2 I recently test drove, but definitely adequate acceleration for merging onto the highway or anything like that. And quite a nice European sound it had to it there during the acceleration as well. That was fun. So another thing I always like to mention as far as visibility goes, this rear window is actually a little smaller than I'm used to, but still for a 6-foot adult, I don't see any issues with visibility. And so, but anyways, enough with the driving dynamics. Let's check out the exterior here. And so to start up front, to the sides, there are xenon adaptive headlights with dynamic auto leveling, and of course with BMW you get the Corona headlight rings as well, and there are LED accent lights up there too. And then just below it all, there are halogen freeform fog lights. There's front air curtains to the sides there, and for an additional $1,900, those headlights are available with LEDs and active bending. But then swinging around to the side, their side mirrors are going to be power folded heated side mirrors with integrated turn signals. And around the side windows, there is a matte chrome exterior trim. And when it comes to the wheel setup, standard setup is a double 5-spoke light alloy wheel with run flat all season tires. And of course, there are 19-inch wheel sizes available if you wanted to go that route as well. But then swinging around to the back, there are adaptive brake lights, and just below it all, exhaust outlets. So as always, you guys, here is that exhaust clip. Now, since we are around back, one way you can pop the trunk is by simply pressing the button on the key fob there, but once that trunk is open, cargo capacity comes in at 17 cubic feet, and there is a 40-20-40 split, meaning you can fold down those rear seats for a ton of additional room if you needed it. And as far as that rear seat legroom, that comes in at 33.7 inches, so for reference, I am an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had going on back there. And of course, you do get the rear armrest with cup holders back there, and if those rear passengers look forward, they will find that they have rear ventilation as well, which is super nice when it it is super hot out, help them get the air back there quicker so they can remain comfortable. But then moving up to the front seats, those front seats do come 10-way power adjustable. They are sport seats. There are 2-way power adjustable side bolsters, and there's a driver memory system. And as expected, all the seating is going to come with a leather finish. But then front and center, there is a 3-spoke leather wrapped steering wheel. It is tilt and telescoping, so between the seats and the steering wheel, definitely able to find my perfect driving position there. And to get back to the key, as far as the key goes, you do have lock, unlock, and you can pop the rear trunk. And by the way, that BMW symbol, that is going to be the lock button. But anyways, it is all keyless access, so simply keep the key in your pocket or put it anywhere in the vehicle, put your foot on the brake, and there is a push button start button just above the driver's right knee. So anyways, upon startup, you got your fuel gauge all the way on the left, then the speedometer, tachometer, and your oil temps all the way to the right. But front and center in the middle there is a small digital display that's going to tell you your outside temperature, how many miles you have left until you hit empty, as well as your trip information. But then as far as overall interior quality goes, we'll start by saying there is ambient lighting throughout the vehicle. You're of course not going to be able to see it because it is noon right now in the middle of the day, but that is going to look amazing at night. Also, there are 4 12-volt power outlets throughout the vehicle, and there's going to be a 2-way power glass moonroof with the sliding interior sunshade as well. That's pretty nice. And overall interior quality is definitely not letting you down. It does look very nice in the new 4 Series here. There is HomeLink controls, by the way, just under the rear view mirror here as well, and that's going to be for up to 3 different garage doors. But yeah, overall this one definitely is finished quite nicely. But then as far as the tech goes, front and center, there's a 6.5-inch center screen, and all that information on that screen can be controlled by using the circular dial and button just behind the shifter there. And so on that screen, you're going to be able to access Bluetooth and audio streaming. You can check out your miles per gallon, as well as when the car recommends your next oil change is going to be. There's going to be navigation available if you go with certain packages, but then also there is going to be your audio information up there. So let me start by saying this one does come standard with a hi-fi sound system with 205 watts, 9 speakers, and 2 subwoofers. But then last thing I wanted to mention to you guys is for an additional $950, there is a reverse camera with the driver assistance package letting you know who or what is behind you so you don't go running into anything, which as always is going to lead me into safety. And so to start, there are front, side, and side curtain airbags. There are driver and passenger knee airbags as well. Then in the back seats, there is latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats. There's also a tire pressure monitoring system along with brake fade compensation, a brake drying feature, and high performance ventilated 4-wheel disc brakes with cornering brake control. There's adaptive cruise control as well, so the car is going to slow down if the car in front of you slows down. That's always nice. Along with dynamic stability control, traction control, and there are optional packages, for instance, the driver assistance plus package that adds an additional $1,700, but that was going to include your blind spot detection, side and top view cameras, speed limit info, and an active driving assistant, which includes frontal collision warning and pedestrian warning. And so, but anyways, you guys, that is about it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Feel free to follow me on this stuff on the bottom of the screen right there, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay gold.